All right, next game up, you're going to have YMM versus ILD. Now, these two teams met in the playoffs last year. ILD evidently was able to come away with the win on their road to their championship. Mm-hmm. This season, the two teams are neck and neck. ILD is 4-0, YMM is 3-0. YMM's coming in with the number one scoring offense in the league. Corey having a great year. ILD coming with the number 3 highest scoring offense in the league. Mm-hmm. But the number 1 defense in the Eastern Conference, they're giving up 8.2 a game. Mm-hmm. So you have the top offense versus the top defense. What can you expect to go on?
To me, I think that the most important thing is which quarterback is going to have a better game. Both teams are physical, but I believe that the offense, especially with the quarterbacks, has to come out with the edge, and whichever quarterback comes out with the edge in this game is going to come away with the win.
And you can see the numbers for both quarterbacks right now, and they're both having 2 good seasons, which is why their team is in actually both having a good record, basically. Mm-hmm. One team comes in 4-0, one team comes 3-0. I think it comes down to, can this YMM team stop this ILD offense? They're missing 2 of their best guys in the secondary, in Ice and in Santana. That's very important to this team that they're missing right now. Corey's been able to hold the way, especially with Brandon not having the same season as he had last year. But you see Slutty stepping up, Wesley getting involved. They have other guys coming away making big plays. On ILD side, Swiss has been playing, but he hasn't really been playing. Akon hasn't played. Akon has been to games. He just hasn't played this season. I think this is a possible Final Four matchup we can see possibly. Mm-hmm. In the future, you don't want to throw out 99 Problems or UTF, other teams that may be involved. This is a possible Final Four preview. So we're going to have to see what we get in this regular season game. Mm-hmm. We're going to start with ILD getting the ball. First down, Adi throws deep to JoJo in the middle. Passes short, picked off by Josh. YMM gets the ball back. Now, Josh is the coach. The team is short, so he's playing. If you're the bad man, Adi, you cannot throw an interception to Josh. Josh is a decent player, but he's not really known as a guy that's going to jump out the gym or lock somebody down. But the guy knows football. Mm-hmm. And I think he caught Adi sleeping here. Big interception by Josh.
And I agree with you. I think that he did catch him sleeping. The thing about this pass here is I think Adi was trying to pull a fast one with this pass. Unfortunately, it was off target. And Josh is close enough to catch up and make the play on it. So that's good defense by Josh.
Corey throws to Wesley in the gap for a decent game. Second down, Corey's blitzed by Swiss, who's picked up by Buto. Corey throws deep to Kaka with a step-on slasher. Caught for a big game first down. I think the big thing that's been carrying this team with no Rico, no Tana, no Ice, their role players has got involved, especially guys that we see playing on the opposite side of the ball. We've seen Brown make some catches. Now you see Kaka making some catches. The guy has been around nothing but greatness, so you got to expect some of that to run off, and that's a good catch by him there. Corey throws a Brown on the sideline for a decent game. 3rd and goal. Corey's blitzed by Gotti. We're blocking from Josh. Corey throws a Brown in front of the end zone. Tip picked off by Lou. ILD gets the ball back. We've seen Corey play having a good season, but G has not been here the last few games. This is the second game he's not going to make. Mm-hmm. When I was blocking, Corey tends to struggle on certain throws, especially when the pressure is involved in it. And Lou has been Corey's thorn in the side, his Achilles heel, his kryptonite. He's owned Corey with these tip interceptions. I think this is 4th of his career facing against Corey.
And the thing about this is people underestimate how good Lou has been playing the last 2 seasons at the ball giver position. Not only does he have height, but he has awareness to put his hands up right when the ball is thrown and tip it to himself for the interception.
Adi with 2 passes for a decent game, getting him to the 35-yard line. 3rd down, Adi is blitzed by Buto. Blocked by Swiss. Adi throws deep to Chad, open on the sideline for a big game, picking the first down. If you look here, Wesley and Josh don't talk during the switch. Chad has been one of the biggest pickups this season. He's making plays on both sides of the ball. If this guy doesn't get into an all-star game, it is a robbery because he's been playing great this season, and Adi's been connected with him. He connects with him here again. Adi then with a pass to PJ in the middle to get to the 20-yard line. 3rd down, Adi is blitzed by Buto. Swiss picks him up. Adi finds Brandon, cutting in the end zone for the touchdown. If you look here, Kaka is focusing on rushing in, leaves the gap open. Swiss gets the 2-point conversion, 8-zip, IOD.
And on this play here, first of all, the play before with Josh and Wesley not switching, that's straight up not talking on defense.
Yeah.
If they were communicating to each other, they would be able to switch properly, and this receiver would not be open on this play. That led to this end zone play here where Kaka is worried about rushing in, like you said. He's stepping up, trying to help the giver rush in, but he's supposed to back up because the middle line is his responsibility. The gap is his responsibility. He leaves it wide open for them to score the touchdown there.
And what I want to also say about this is, the key to this is, look, Adi blitzed by Buto, picked up by Swish. Adi gets the deep pass to Chad. Adi gets blitzed again by Buto, picked up by Swiss. He finds Brandon cutting in the end zone. Swiss is the ultimate team player. He could be arguably the best player on the field right now, but he's willing to block to help this team win. That's an ultimate general, and they get a nice touchdown from it. First down, Corey throws deep to Kaka, cutting in the gap. Kaka just misses it, incomplete. Second down, Corey on forward rush with blocker from Buto. Lou just misses the sack. Corey gets by Brandon, throws deep to Slutty, off target, almost picked off by Chad. But what I love about this play is, look up at Corey move in the pocket. I was watching it, and I was a fan because just the way for him to sense the pass rush, it was an incomplete pass. It wasn't the best pass he could throw. I just love this guy's foot present in the pocket. Last down, Corey throws to Brown wide open in the middle for a decent game, pick up the first down. Brown has been a better offensive player this year, and Corey, who is Drew Brees, can find anybody. Great play by Corey there. Second down, Corey gets blitzed by Swiss, who's picked up by Josh and Buto. Corey throws to Wesley in the middle for a decent game, but Josh gets flagged for holding, lost it down, 10 yards, replay, YMM is forced to punt.
And that is a big play to stagnate your drive there, because they were when you have people like Brown getting into your drive and making big plays, that's when you know that everybody else is going to step up and make something happen. So this play could have been a big play leading to the end zone, but it ended up coming all the way back because of a holding play. Give your credit to Swiss, because it took this much for them to try to block him.
Did they hold him?
And it took them to hold in order for them to stop Swiss. So that's Swiss getting all the credit for that defensive play.
Adi with 3 passes short for a nice gain, getting him to the 41-yard line. IOD gets a first down on the next play. Adi on first down is blitzed by Buto, picked up by Swiss. Adi throws to PJ in the middle for a decent gain. Second down with blocker from Swiss. Adi throws it to PJ. Gets past Wesley in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. If you look here, Wesley's watching Adi and reacts late. Brandon gets a 2-point conversion, 16-0. IOD.
And this is a horrible defensive play by Wesley. I've seen him play much better than that, especially in the positions like this. You see the receiver passing right by him, and he reacts way too late. Why? Because he's spying on the quarterback, paying attention to where he's going, because he wants to cheat on the ball. Because he does that, he doesn't respond to the receiver right away, and that leads to the big play there.
Last play for half, Corey throws it up, picked off by Lou, taking us into the half. IOD with the lead, 16-0.
And there's so much that YMM has missed in this game. The drive previously where Brown had that big first down, then they had another big play, comes back because of a hold. Then you have plays like this where Wesley not paying attention on defense, he gets caught with a pass deep. Then you have Josh and Wesley here not communicating. That leads to a big play that leads to them scoring. Kaka, I can go on and on about the mistakes that they've been making, mostly on defense. And because of that, it hasn't been translated to their offense. They've been struggling on both sides. So they need a spark, and they need it bad. The fact that even though you said that Brandon hasn't been having a big season like he did last year, he's not even here in this game. So he's not even going to be able to be a factor to get their offense going. So somebody has to step up and make something happen for this team. Otherwise, they're going to be struggling all the way to the end.
Right now, ILD is the better team. And the ability for them to adjust is what makes them great. We're going to look at 2 plays I want to look at. And the first one, we're not going to look at this one, but we're going to know Adi threw an interception on the first pass. Terrible play by him. But once he gets comfortable Look at this third down play. Look who Adi's blitzed by, Puto. A great blitzer, physical blitzer. Look what happens. He's picked up by Swiss. Adi's able to find Brandon in front, cutting in the end zone for the touchdown. Look at this again. Second down. We're blocking from Swiss. Adi throws deep and finds PJ for the touchdown. YMM can't pressure Adi. You can't pressure Adi, you're not going to win the game. Swiss is staying and shutting down anybody who puts pressure on Adi. YMM has to find a way to do two things. They have to find a way to stop the blitz because they got caught for holding on the big play. And they got to find a way to provide pressure because ILD's throwing them apart. We're going to jump into the second half. Second down, Corey throws to Jeremy on the sideline who runs for a nice gain, picking up the first down. Second down, a 4 rush. Corey scrambles, throws to Brown on the sideline, tipped by Gotti, incomplete. Third down, Corey is blitzed by Swiss, throws to Wesley, cutting in the sideline. Wesley makes a nice catch, both feet inbounds to the 10-yard line. I'll be saying that this shouldn't have counted as a catch, that he dropped the ball. If you look here, as he comes to the line, he stops his feet. Now the question is, did he touch the line? It's hard for us to even tell here because of the angle we coming in. But that was not what was questioned. What was questioned was, did he drop the ball? What do you think of the play?
And on this play, if this was an NFL play, first of all, if you look at his feet, he never leaves the ground.
Correct.
He's running, and then his feet both touch the ground. So he doesn't jump for the ball or anything. So he already has possession as he's going out of bounds. Now, obviously, they talk about maintaining possession. If this was the NFL, this will be a completed catch down at the spot because the ball cannot be, the ground cannot cause a fumble.
Correct.
But he's already established as a runner because he already established possession of the ball since he never left his feet.
Correct.
So I think that the refs made a good call. He gets the catch and it's down at the spot.
Last down, Corey on 4 rush, throws to Wesley, cutting in the front of the end zone for the touchdown. Daka gets a 2-point conversion, 16-8. ILD still in the lead, but they jump back in.
And that huge play by Wesley is what led them to be able to score on this drive. Shout outs to him to keeping his feet in bounds, not having to leave his feet, and holding it, maintaining possession as he goes out of bounds. That great play is plays that they need more of from this YMM team. They've been stagnant in the first half. Finally, they have some big plays on offense, and at least them putting themselves on the board.
First down, Adi throws to Brandon in the gap, who runs for a nice game, picking up the first down. Brandon is playing well this season. We've never seen him play the way he's playing now. He's playing well. Adi's finding him and making some plays. Adi on 4 rush rolls right, but is sacked by Fab. Finally, they're able to put pressure on him and get a sack, big sack by YMM.
And that's something that they needed because mostly it's been Swiss, and they also have Johnny here protecting Adi. So it's hard to get through to put any pressure on Adi, but they're finally able to do that on this play here.
Second and goal. Adi finds Slasher in front of the end zone for the touchdown. Slasher with a nice catch outside to get open. 22-8 ILD.
And if you look at this route here, you see Slasher cut inside and then cut outside at the last second. That's a great way to get yourself open when the guy's playing man on you, because all you have to do is make one quick move, and the quarterback, as long as he sees you at the right time, he makes a good play there, and that's exactly what happens.
Corey gets blitzed by Swiss, throws deep to Slutty on the sideline. Slutty with a nice catch on JoJo for a big game, picking up the first down. PJ gets ejected for cursing, and they're going to get more yardage from that.
And this is a way to stay focused on this play.
No, let's not say stay focused. That is an awesome catch. I don't care what you say.
You got moss.
Yes, he got moss. It don't always got to be a touchdown,
okay,
but you got moss, dog. Let's call it what it is. Great catch by Slutty.
But this is not the first time he's done something like this, at least even on this season. This is a man that's been starting he's creating a trend of mossing people. He's creating a trend of making big plays like this, and the trend continues on this play here.
Third and goal, Corey finds Josh cutting in the end zone for the touchdown. Slutty gets a 2-point conversion, 22-16. ILD still in the lead, but YMM creeping back in the game.
And I don't know what the pep talk was in the huddle in the half, but this is a different YMM team, at least on offense. This team is now putting up points. In the last 2 drives that they had the ball, they were able to score. This is the momentum that they need. They just need stops on defense now in order for them to take the lead again. For them to take the lead.
Second down, Adi throws to Swiss, cutting in the gap. That's going to be dropped. Third down, Adi with blocking from Johnny and Swiss. Throws deep to Brandon, cutting in the front of the end zone. Brandon can't hold on to an incomplete ILD after punt. That is a great stop by YMM. It was technically 2 drops, but it still looked like defense at the end of the day. Mr. Swiss, I guess he is human, makes a drop. Brandon, who's been hot, can't make a catch. Great stop by YMM.
And when momentum shifts, it affects everything that you're doing. And right now, ILD is the one caught reeling right now. Like, they had the whole first half, and now they're starting to show imbalance right now. They're dropping passes. They're not getting through coverage, and because of that, they're leading to their first turnover in the half that YMM can use to take the lead in this game.
Second down, Corey on 4 rush, runs in the middle for a decent gain. Third down, Corey is blitzed by Swiss. Blocked by Josh, but Corey throws a slutty, cutting on the sideline for a decent gain. YMM needs a first down. Last down, Corey on 4 rush, rolls right. Johnny just misses the sack. Corey throws a slutty, cutting in the middle, off target, incomplete, ending the game. ILD with the win over YMM, 22-16.
This is a case of too little, too late for YMM's offense. They were dead in the first half. They had no life in them. And then in the second half, they got the engine rolling. They scored twice in a row. They made a key stop, but by then it was too late for them to catch up and make up for the deficit they had in the first half. This is not games where you want to start off slow. This is not a YMM team that I'm used to seeing starting off slow like this. When they start off slow, against a team like ILD, regardless of how bad they play, how much mistakes that they make, it's hard to catch up when you're on a 3 touchdown deficit. So they started off way too slow. They got the engines running, but because they started off slow, they weren't able to catch up, and that leads to a loss. They got to fix that momentum on offense in the next game.
YMM got to make some moves. Corey threw an interception his first drive.
Mm-hmm.
Then they have to punt the second drive. Now they had to punt. They had to punt because Josh couldn't block Swiss with Buto, and they got caught for holding. They ended up having to punt. That is huge. Then what happens with Corey the next drive? Corey throws an interception to Lou. He just threw it up. But bottom line, first half, we got the YMM being stopped 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
As ILD was able to score twice. YMM scores the second half right away, and that's good. But if you look here on where's the one where he falls? Okay. If you look here on this play, this third down play, Corey gets blitzed by Swiss, who throws a Wesley on the sideline. Wesley made the catch, but Swiss right here falls while he's blitzing in. Or he would have brought pressure. Brown can't block Swiss.
Of course not. Nothing against Brown, but Brown does not have the size
so because
to stop somebody like
Swiss slipped, Corey had more time. And the next time, he got blitzed by Swiss, but was able to get a pass off by Slutty to Slutty for a big gain. And then PJ gets ejected. And then he missed Wesley. First of all, they need to get G back. Mm-hmm. They need him to block.
Yeah.
They have not looked the same since he has not been here. Playoffs come, you have to have your blocker. We've seen Corey do his taxes when G was blocking. Now, it must be April 15th because he's moving around like he has a deadline. They got to get him some protection. And I'm not going to really worry about them blitzing the passer. Buto's a great blitzer.
Yeah.
But Swiss is a good blocker. So we call that a draw. But I'm more concerned on the ability to protect Corey. Now, they're gonna suffer another setback as they lose. They lost Santana, Ice, who's both injured. Now they're gonna lose Jeremy for 2 games, who's gonna be suspended for action detrimental. How you say it?
Detrimental.
Detrimental, right? What that mean?
Meaning something that's, yeah.
They're going to lose Jeremy for 2 games for actions detrimental to the league. That's a big loss. That's a 2-game suspension. YMM got to figure out what are they trying to do. We've seen them do this last season. Try to turn it off and then turn it on. And it's difficult. Defensively, they're the number 3 defense in the league. Pretty good. Coming into this game. We got to see what it is after the game. But coming into this game, they're the number 3 defense. They're 7th in interceptions. They're tied for 7th with 3 other teams. But they're 9th in sacks. They added Buto to do that. It hasn't gone the way they expected. Like I said, they're in 9th in sacks. They're tied with 4 other teams for 9th in sacks. They got to figure this out. Because defensively, they played well. But playoff times come, you're going to have to make plays. Corey's a better player when he has protection. Defensively, you got to keep Corey able to score points. When Corey's comfortable, this team score points. They lead the league in scoring at this point until we put the rest of the stats in. But at the end of the day, they don't have a defense that's going to be able to stop everybody, which is what happens now that they lost Jeremy for 2 games. We don't know when Ice is going to be healthy. Ice may not play this season. It's possible he may not be back to playoffs. Same thing with Tanner. They're going to need other guys to step up. But they got to be able to do what they do is score points. I feel Brandon's going to start getting hot if he decides to come. I think Wesley and Slutty's been carrying the load. They need Rico to do something. This team has an opportunity to win a championship in this league, and I think right now they're giving it away.
And that's because one thing I could say about this YMM team is they have never been on the same page. They've never been firing on all cylinders with all of their star players.
Since they went to the chip.
Yes. It's always been somebody not here, somebody's not able to play, somebody's injured. This has been a situation with this team for year in, year out. And I think that's what's killing them. So you can't do anything about the injuries. Can't do anything about that.
Right.
But the guys who are supposedly performing are not really performing the way that they're supposed to. Shout outs to Wesley and Slutty. They've been they've been carrying the load for most of his team. But you got to see Rico step up when he. You got to see Rico step up when he comes in for these games. You got to have Brandon be the Brandon that they had last year.
Yeah.
You got to have Jeremy, when he comes back after his suspension, be a more focused player and keep things a little bit, more under control. So all of these things, all of these factors has to come in together if you want to win a championship. And all of this does eventually hurt your quarterback.
And we're not going to go crazy on them because this is their first loss, but
Yes.
this is a team that they may face in the playoffs.
Yes.
And on the other side, IOD, they have offensively, they have the number 3 offense in the league. But they have the number 2 defense in the league, and they've been playing very well on that. Now, they led the league in sacks last year. This year, at this time right now, they're only 6th in sacks. But at the end of the day, as you saw, Swiss brings pressure. Akon hasn't played yet. So, I think they're not worrying about regular season. They're more focused on playoffs. But Adi's having a great season so far. Brandon's getting involved. Slash is getting involved. They're having a really good season. I think they're just keeping the guys motivated until playoffs time.
And I got to say, Brandon has been playing lights out on both sides of the field for this team. And when you have somebody like that dominating on both sides, then you have Slasher here and there, sprinkling some plays with Slasher.
Lou.
Then you sprinkling some Lou on
Chad.
defense. Chad, probably one of the best defenders in the league right now. Funny thing, he just missed the interception in this game.
They're number 2 in interceptions, only behind 99.
Yes, he would have. This is the first game he hasn't had an interception in the game. We haven't heard somebody do that in a while.
And what's amazing was they struggled in interceptions last year. They was at the bottom of the deck. They added Chad, who played with 99, and that number 1 turnover ball as they led the league in interceptions. And now they're number 2 in interceptions. So you can't tell me that Adi didn't make a good sign in picking up this kid.
And like I said, this team is looking like this is a team that you want defending a title. This is how they're supposed to play. That's exactly how they look. And teams are in trouble if they're not taking them seriously. They're champions for a reason.
All right, we're going to end this game. ILD with the win over YMM 22-16. We'll be right back. Next game up, we're going to go with Rep City versus LES. Rep City's coming off of a hurtful loss to 99, 25-6. And you're going to have LES coming in with a win over Grind Time, 20-12. LES don't have JJ throwing this game. It'll be A-Rod throwing. As far as Rep City, Izzy's not here. Tess gets to start. You talked about that earlier in the season about Izzy not showing up to games. But I think their biggest issue on this Rep City team is leadership, which is what causes them to not be the team we always expect them to be early in the season.
And they may not like hearing this at all.
Right.
But they have never looked this directionless since Charlie stepped down as coach for this team. Not to say that he is a factor and the reason why they're falling apart.
Well, they struggled last year,
Yeah.
but they was able to beat 99.
Yes.
But the year before when Charlie was here, they were number 1 seed.
Yes. So my thing is this, not to say that it's Charlie specifically that they need, but they need somebody to take over at the helm as either the coach or the captain.
And just do that.
Yes, and take charge fully of this team. They don't have that. They haven't had that the last 2 seasons, and that's why a lot of times, especially in the regular season, they've been all over the place.
Well, they're 1-3. They're 10th in defense. They're 10th in defense and 9th in offense in the league. That's pretty bad. They got to get that together. And they face the LES team who we said beat grind time. LES another team trying to find themselves. They're 10th in offense and 9th in defense. So just the opposite of Rep City. They're still learning the league. But they had guys like Joel and JJ who played last year. I think they just need to put everything together to try to come away with a win. Like I said, JJ won't be here today. A-Rod gets to start. A-Rod is going to get blitzed and throw the Simon in the gap. Almost picked off by Meach. Elias is forced to punt. A-Rod doesn't get the ball off before the 4 rush. The ball is dead on the spot. Turnover on downs. What do you think of the call?
That's definitely a good call there because you hear 4 rush clearly, and he still hasn't even attempted to throw the ball.
Right.
So obviously he was warned.
Let's hear it. Let's check it out. Yeah, and that's because I think he was warned several times.
Yes, and the funny thing is, whenever a new quarterback comes on this field, it seems like they're not even aware of the rule, even though it's being told to them. They're still not in condition to actually pay attention to it.
Yeah.
And almost always they get caught with plays like this, and it leads to them turning over the ball here.
Second down, Tess gets the ball on 4 rush. He scrambles and throws it B-dot short, incomplete. You look here, Celo's open. Last down, Tess on 4 rush, throws it up, incomplete. Turnover on downs. Elias gets the ball back, and Rep City cannot capitalize on the turnover. They make some weird plays, and Elias gets the ball right back.
And even though Elias, has been caught, sleeping with that failed punt or whatever, Rep City was given good field position because of that, and they still wasn't able to capitalize and get to the end zone to score.
First down, A-Rod with a deep pass to Will in the gap. Incomplete. B-Dot gets a nice shot on him. A-Rod holding the ball a little too long. Then A-Rod throws the elbow on the sideline for a decent gain. Elias can't get any further. They're going to have to punt. Second down, Tess throws to the receiver on the sideline. Makes a good catch for a decent gain. Last down, Tess on 4 rush. Throws a roll in the middle. Tip, incomplete. Turnover on downs. Big stop by Elias to get the ball back.
And right now, it looks like Tess it looks like a deer in headlights. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's scrambling for his life out there. And then certain plays, he's leaving receivers open. He's not finding them. Sometimes he's looking for too much, not taking what the defense is giving him. And because of that, he's struggling with yet another turnover in this game.
A-Rod throws the Simon in the gap for a decent gain, and there's a flag on the play, adding more yardage. Second down, A-Rod gets blitzed by Ant. Blocked by Joel. A-Rod finds Simon in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. 6-9. Elias takes the lead. I like the pickup by Joel. Give it A-Rod time. Remember, he still got to get used to the league. Still got to get used to the field. But he still has a gun, and he shoots it off. Gets a touchdown.
And catches this weak Rep City defense in the meantime. One thing I got to say is, I would like to see Simon get the ball more. He's been a capable tight end.
Yeah.
He's good on his routes. He's a person that can hold on to the ball, make catches. So I like to see A-Rod go to him more moving forward, either in this game or in the season, because he's a playmaker out there.
Tess on 4 rush is sacked by Zay. Then Tess goes deep in the middle, picked off by Spud. Elias gets the ball back. If you look right here, Celo and B-Dot are open short, but Tess goes for the home run. Another turnover.
The struggling continues, and now it's bad decisions being made by Tess in the quarterback position. Right here, you see two receivers here. It seems like Tess wanted to go for more than to go for the easy play here. And that's when greed comes back to bite you, because he goes downfield and releases an interception. Great play by Spud.
Second down, A-Rod is blitzed by Steve-O. Picked up by Dennis. A-Rod throws deep to Will in the gap, caught, and runs for a big gain, picking up the first down. But Dennis gets flagged for cursing. Huge penalty, moves him back.
Don't take away from the big play by Will getting open in the gap, running for some big games. So this is something you need to see more of this.
Yep.
We haven't seen enough of this season, and I think that A-Rod is going to find his way to get back to him later on in the game. But Jake Dennis, this plays like this, so you get overhyped and you get a flag like this, kills you, because now all the yardage that Will got is going to be taken away from you, and that's the opportunity missed to score.
Last down, last play for the half. A-Rod throws a Dennis in the back of the end zone, tipped by Ant, picked off by Meach, taking us into the half, 6-0, LES.
This should have been at least 12-0 LES in this game if it wasn't for Dennis being flagged for curse on that play. Sometimes you have to just hold your tongue, hold yourself until you score, and then you celebrate. But on this play, they didn't do that. So at the end of the day, they just need to hold together. A-Rod needs to get more acclimated into this game. You see a glimpse of him making some good plays on offense with him connecting to Simon. You need Will to step up. You need some of these guys to protect him in the pocket, because I don't think he's still used to the blitz. Get him more comfortable, and I think he'll be able to score more points in the second half.
Tess has to play like a quarterback. The kid can run. The kid can throw. But his decision-making is questionable. We can't have the ball 3 times and have no points. Our defense made them punt twice. Mm-hmm. One of them was able to get us out the ball on their side of the field, and we could not score. We cannot hold all day. Tess has to be held accountable for his mistakes. If he's going to be a quarterback, he has to be a quarterback. He has to start getting better when he throws, not regressing. He seems to makes the same mistakes every time he throws. He doesn't have a check down receiver because Cello and B-Dot be open and he takes home runs. He cannot make those mistakes, but that comes back to leadership, because a leader would have sat down and said, you have to do this and it's going to be done. That's one of Rep City's issues. We're going to have to see if they can turn around in a second. After getting the first down, Tess throws it in the middle for a decent gain. Tess with blocking runs for a decent gain, getting him to the 4-yard line. Third down, Tess finds Horse in the front of the end zone for the touchdown. 6-6, Rep City ties it.
And finally, they're able to put some points on the board. There was a flag on the defense going offsides on this play, and I think that was the key to them being able to continue in the drive, taking what the defense gave them. Because if it wasn't for that offsides, this probably would have been an interception. But because Rep City was able to hold the line and drive down the field and take what the defense gave them, Tess was able to find Horse in front of the end zone.
Horse is a veteran player. I played with Horse. When I played with Horse, he was the best player on our team. He was a top tight end with great hands, and he was the star of the team. He's not there no more. Father Time is undefeated. But in the red zone, he can still catch the football. He still has size. You got to find him in the red zone because he can make some plays. He may not make yards after the catch, but he can catch the football and get you some points.
How many times are you gonna mention that Father Time or whatever with Horse? This is the second time. You ever trying to remind him of something?
Listen,
I think he understands that, but he's willing to play anyway.
When you get old, you hear a lot about Father Time.
Of course.
So it is what it is. Father Time is undefeated. You can ask me because I'll tell you. A-Rod on 4 rush, throws deep to Will in the middle. That's going to be dropped. Second down, A-Rod throws Will in the gap for a decent gain. After getting the first down, A-Rod throws a Simon in the middle, gets him a decent gain. Second down, A-Rod throws a Spud in the gap, who shakes 2 defenders and runs for a nice gain. I like Spud. He's mostly makes his plays defensively, but we've seen him getting involved in the offense. Great play by him. Last down, A-Rod throws deep to Will in the corner end zone, caught but out of bounds. Turnover and downs. LES is not able to capitalize on some big gains, and they turn the ball over.
And I think that play was a defining moment for this drive right here. Unfortunately, A-Rod couldn't keep this pass in bounds. Will still makes the catch. He's just showing glimpses of how good Will can be. but you got to find him and keep the ball in bounds on this pass. If you would have did that, this is definitely a touchdown. And unfortunately, because that ball goes out of bounds, it turns a potential touchdown into them being stopped stopped short of the end zone.
Second down. Remember, the game is tied 6-6. Second down, Tess throws it in the middle for a decent game, moving the ball. Tess seems to be building a little confidence. They need to do that. They have to find a way to score 6-6. After getting the first down, Tess throws a horse in the gap, picked off by Joel, who runs it all the way back to the end zone for the touchdown. 12-6, LES.
And this is not the time to throw a lazy pass like that. That's exactly what happened. Tess sees Horse, and he throws a lazy pass, a telegraph pass, and Joel, being the defender that he is, just comes up and snatches that ball. You know that you're a good defender when you could come up and snatch the ball before the quarterback even sees you're there. Joel does just that and is able to run all the way back to the end zone. Great play by Joel to put points on the board on defense.
Rep City gets a nice return on the kickoff. After getting the first down, Tess throws the beat down in the gap for a decent game. Second down, Tess throws the D-boy on the sideline, picked off by Q, ending the game. LES with the win, 12-6.
And on the first of all, Tess struggling throughout the game. Finally is able to put some points on the board, and in the last two drives he gets on the field, he throws 2 interceptions, 1 for a pick 6.
Yep.
This was a terrible game, probably one of the worst Tess has played this season. Even though he was able to score once because of a flag that was in their favor. This is an issue that Rep City has been dealing with throughout the whole season.
Yeah.
No consistency at quarterback. Unfortunately, like I mentioned before, there's not going to be any consistency throughout because the main quarterback that they had before, which was Hood, is long gone now. And even then, when he was at the quarterback position, he wasn't always consistent with his attendance and everything like that. So this team
had their best share with Izzy throwing.
Yes. And unfortunately, Izzy is not in the position to be here every game to quarterback for this team. So Tess, unfortunately, I don't know if he's ready for it. He has to step up as quarterback. He's already playing quarterback for them in other leagues. I don't see why he's struggling like he is the worst quarterback in the world when he plays on this field. He never looked good on this field. That has to change if they want to have to resuscitate any part of the season for any respectable ending. They have to figure it out. Tess, it's up to him to figure out how he's going to play leading forward after this horrible game.
I'm going to talk about both teams. One, Rep City, it's time for them to have the motto, shut up and play. This team talks too much. This team argues too much. They talk trash to the other team. Shut up and play should be the name of the game. This team is talented. This team, all they got to do is make the playoffs, and we've seen them do a lot of weird things. But we also seen them have the number 1 seed and lose in the Elite 8.
Yeah.
But then we seen them last year win and eliminate the defending Eastern Conference champions of last year. 99 problems in the second round. So it's all about who Rep City is, but they need to shut up and play. They're not going to have best numbers. Who cares? They just need to find a way to win games. The number 1 seed in this division gets a bye. Rep City's not going to get that. We all know that. Right now, they need to know that they got to get it together because they're going to face one of these top teams in the second round, in the playoffs. Either 99, you know what I mean, or possibly YMM. They have to be able to beat these teams.
And there's no certainty with who the quarterback is going to be in the playoffs. This is for the first time in the last 2 seasons. They're not going to have a certain quarterback there. Whether it's going to be Izzy or whether it's going to be Tess, we don't know. So they have to be prepared for that. And a lot of guys that's, role players or star players have to step up and carry more of the weight.
Last topic, real quick before I talk about LES. Was D-Boy here?
He was.
Was Rel here?
Yes.
Really didn't hear from them.
Well, we did hear from them, but at the end of the game when they were arguing with each other.
As always. Sometimes, what did Einstein say? What's the great saying that I love that Einstein say?
What was the saying to Einstein? He said money.
You're trash.
I'm trash, but
You missed the lob.
are making a quote, but then you're not quoting what you're gonna quote.
About insanity.
I gotta understand what point you're trying to make before you make a quote. So yes, obviously the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different outcome. Yes, we know that saying.
That's what I'm talking about.
But you're trash at quoting without giving a hint on what you're trying to quote.
Yeah, I just threw up the lob. You're supposed to bang it. You're trash. You're straight bird box.
You threw up a lob without a basketball.
Straight bird box. Straight bird box. At the end of the day, this team does the same thing. This is not casino. It's not going to work here. You have to play the game that you can play. We know that you can compete with anybody. We've seen you do it. But there's talent over here. And it's time for Rep City to stop being the butt of the jokes. This team went to the Final Four last year. They were a half time away from going to the championship. They should want to get back there. If not, they're wasting their time. What's the point? It's time for Rel, who's the best player on this team, to start acting like he's the best player on this team. He has to demand the ball. He has to find one-on-one coverages and get the ball. LES, on the other hand, they played well defensively. Offensively, they were atrocious. They were nothing to talk about. They got lucky for a touchdown, and Joel made a great play for the pick six. I like Joel as a defender. I think he's a underrated defender. I think he can blitz and he can drop back into coverage. I like Simon. I like Spud. I like Will. They got some playmakers. We haven't seen Kamal since the first week, who was another good player. They got guys that can make plays. But at the end of the day, it all depends on, first of all, who's the starting quarterback. Is it A-Rod or JJ? But we're going to go to the interview real quick, and then we'll come back. What's going on, Stephen J? Here with LES, big win over Rep City. Started off slow, but now y'all won 2 games in a row. Beat 2 good teams. What's been the big turnaround?
Just adjusting, playing as a team, staying together, just adjusting, man. Coming out here hungry, learning. It ain't the same in other fields, it's bigger, it's different. We adjusting, we getting to it, just playing together, basically, staying together.
What do you feel you need to improve on in order to get better? Because you got a lot of other teams you still got to match up with. What do you think you got to do better?
We got to stop arguing, stay together. We got to learn the little tricks in the game, A lot of veteran teams, they have little tricks. That's key, We'll stay there, we'll compete, but those little tricks is what makes us different.
Dennis, we seen y'all team, like I said, y'all started off slow in the beginning. Today we seen A-Rod kind of struggle a little bit, but your defense stepped up. They stepped up the last 2 weeks. We've seen a few interceptions last week. We've seen a pick 6 by Joel today, 2 interceptions today. What's been the change around defensively for your team?
They're playing together. They're relying on each other, and they're picking each other up. That's what great teams do, and defense wins ships. So that's what we're here for.
What do you feel like? We see A-Rod throw today. We've seen JJ throw in the past. Is there quarterback controversy? Do we have to worry about who's the starting quarterback of Elliott?
A-Rod was originally our starting quarterback. JJ stepped up because A-Rod been hurt. This is his first week back. He was a little rusty. He's still going to pick it up, but A-Rod's our quarterback.
Spud, how you think this game helps Shop going down for the rest of the season, winning these 2 games in a row?
This game is big. It means a lot. Every game counts, win or lose. But we got to be able to play through adversity, stay strong. That heart means everything, and we got to leave it out on the field every week.
All right, we're going to thank LES for being here. They're hot, won 2 in a row now. People being a little quiet, but I see them change, especially defensively.
We still got a lot of improvement to do, but we here.
He being modest. They look good the last 2 weeks. You're going to see on the site. Thanks, guys. Yeah, at the end of the day, it sounds all good because they won 2 in a row. Mm-hmm. But in the beginning of the season, this team looked like a joke. So they got to figure out what LES is going to be. Mm-hmm. What team are they attempted to be? The team that won the championship in the B division in BQFL? Or the team that got smacked around the first week when they first got here?
And I like that they were talking about, getting better and, trying to, grow as a team. I like that, even though they've known winning in other leagues or whatever, they're starting to see that this is a different atmosphere.
Right.
You know, obviously a bigger field, so they have to temper themselves
Yeah.
a little bit better, and they have to understand how they're gonna face up with other teams.
Absolutely.
So I like that they're aware of their own situation. Their
Yeah.
self-awareness is one of the keys to them improving. So I see this team getting better as they go along. It's just they don't have as much time to be prepared as the playoffs looms ahead.
All right, we're gonna wrap this game up. LES with the win over Rep City, 12-6. We'll be right back. Next game up, we're gonna talk about the last game, Browns versus UTF. What can we say about both these teams? You jump in and I'll finish it. Like I'll go to the hole for the alley. You lob it and I'll dunk it. So you do what you do.
How about I just take the 3-point and just take
That's
the
that
shot
Steph
myself?
Curry stuff. See what I'm talking about?
Listen, that's what
Everybody
the game
got
is right
Steph
now.
doing everything
That's
now.
the game right now. You have stretch bigs. We're not even talking basketball right now. Let's not do that. But in terms of the Browns, this team, they came off with a win the last game they played, but I don't know if I'm ready to say that they can start a trend off of this. You know, Londy looked good in the last game. We need to see more of that. Londy being protected, able to stay in the pocket and make better decisions in the pocket. When you have that type of Londy, he can win games for your team.
Right.
But the key to this Browns team is how good their defense is going to play, because they haven't really been playing that great this season.
They're number 5 in defense.
Yes.
Tied with grind time.
And that's one of the main reasons why, because of how good they were able to play in the last game that they played against the Wolverines, which are a much worse team than they are.
So you think that's the reason that
I think that's why the
the
numbers kind of went up for them, in their favor. But I'm not convinced that their defense is good enough to hold teams to lower points. I don't have the confidence in that yet.
And on the other side, this is the funny part. UTF, they're not what we thought they would be. They're 1-2. But, I heard a lot of the guys saying Ramsey this, Ramsey that. You've heard it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what place they're in scoring? They're tied for 4th in scoring. Ramsey, the guy who's messing up, this team is averaging 17 points a game. Mr. Ramsey.
Mm-hmm.
The only one scoring more in that division is IOD and YMM. The only one scoring more overall is IOD, YMM, and Carver.
But I understand where the criticism
Let me
is
finish,
coming
though.
from. Go ahead.
You know where they're at defensively?
Just say it.
They're in 8th defensively. And in their division, right?
Mm-hmm.
In their division, they have the 3rd worst defense in their division. 8th overall in the league. But they saying Ramsey. Ramsey was brought in to score points. Is Ramsey going to throw picks? Yes. Is Ramsey going to make mistakes? Yes. But he has him number 4th in the league in scoring. That means that, I'm going to tell you the teams that they score more than. They're tied with grind time. They score more than 89. They score more than Never Scared. They score more than Horrible Humans. They score more than all those teams. But you're saying Ramsey this, Ramsey that. Defensively, you know who got better defense than them? Never Scared, who's one of the worst defenses last year. They're 7th this year, but they got a better defense than them. Browns have a better defense than them. Only teams that got a better defense is teams like LES, Rep City, Harbor Humans, teams that are still getting to know it. But you want to talk about defense? They have a former defensive player of the year in Pig. They have a former all-star in Ak. They have a veteran at safety in Trey. They have playmakers defensively.
And Trey has been having a good
Yes.
season this year. So,
But again, number 8th in defense. They're number 5th in interceptions because Trey's having a good year.
Yeah.
He's carrying them. And they're number 6 in sacks. But they're number 8 in defense. But they want to talk about Ramsey.
now I don't want to stick on this whole thing because I want to get to the game. But I'm going to say this: The only thing I could say is I understand the small critiques on Ramsey is because Ramsey's the only person holding him back to being the best quarterback in the league right now.
Correct.
That is one thing I do believe.
He's Brett Favre, though. Come on.
Yes. So my thing is this. But do you have to be Brett Favre?
Brett Favre's a Hall of Famer.
Doesn't matter. He could have listen. Towards the end of the season, towards the end of his career, he was known as the butt of the joke.
Okay.
Let's remember that. He was known as Mr. Pick Six, Mr. I have the lead and I give it up throwing a stupid interception. That Brett Favre. Let's remember that.
Well,
Ramsey is in that category. Does he have to be? No. And that's the frustrating thing that I kind of understand. But is he the reason to blame for why their defense is horrible? No. Not at all. So there's a lot of fixing that this team has to do. Hopefully this game is the start for that trend to fixing their mistakes.
All right, we're going to jump right into the game. Landy gets the start again. Reggie's at the game. He's going to play, but he's not throwing. Landy's going to get, and hopefully next week we can get an interview with them to find out what's going on with Reggie as far as going forward to the season. After getting the first down, Landy throws the Mills on the sideline for a decent gain. Second down, Landy on 4 rush is sacked by Lionel. Browns have to punt. UTF shown their ability to play some defense, and they make a big stop.
But the thing about it is this play by Lionel rushing in for the sack at second down, that is the key because when you get a sack in the middle of the drive, now you have only one more play for the offense to make something happen before they force a punt, barring whatever position they're in on the field. So plays like that is plays that UTF need to improve their defense, especially when they're putting pressure on the quarterback.
Ramsey with 2 short passes for a decent game, picking up the first down. Then Ramsey with blocking from G. Throws to JP on the sideline for a nice game. Second down, Ramsey on 4 rush, runs in the gap for a decent game, getting to the 7-yard line. Third down, Ramsey's blitzed by Lowe's, who's picked up by Frankie. Ramsey's finds Prodigy, cutting in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. If you look here, Mills and Goody guarding the front, never steps back. Touchdown UTF, 6-0.
And wait for Ramsey to find him. But that's something that I'm used to seeing with Ramsey. He's not going to miss an open throw like that, especially when he has time to find him. Good blocking by Frankie, picking up the blitz. It seems like Frankie and G switch back and forth to who protects Ramsey. And I think those are the keys to having Ramsey make better throws like this one here.
Landy with 3 short passes for a decent game, picking up the first down. Then Landy on second down throws the Mills on the sideline to get them to the 10-yard line. Last time, Landy's good on 4 rush, throws a nice pass to A-High in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. 6-6, Browns score right back.
And this is probably one of the best drives I've seen Landy throw.
Sir.
Especially when he's not throwing downfield.
Yes,
because
sir.
he prefers throwing downfield. But if you see here, he's chopping up the field, taking what the defense gives him. First of all, UTF's defense atrocious, but I'm not even going to get into that. Landy is finding his receivers. You see this play, gets towards the end zone. And this play right here, where he throws it to A-High through the defenders.
Correct.
The defenders are there, but he gets through with that pass. As long as he's protected and comfortable, he can make plays like this.
Ramsey on first down, throws deep to Prodigy, wide open in the end zone for the touchdown. If you look here, A-High at safety lets Prodigy go right by him. Bito gets the extra point, 13-6 UTF. And this is the Ramsey you went out and spent money in the offseason to get. A guy who can go downfield. Yeah, we like the way he chopped up the field, but this is what the fans pay for. This is why you gave him the big bucks, and he makes everybody happy.
Well, I would like to know what big bucks we're talking about because we don't have salary caps, we don't have contracts and things like that. Yes, we know that and touch football, guys sometimes get a little money here and there from certain captains and coaches, but I don't see Mike Santos and them paying off Ramsey to play. But listen, that's another conversation. But this play right here, if you make throws like that, it looks like you deserve to get some money.
Correct.
Because he finds Prodigy down the field. You said that Prodigy needs to step up to be a star player. He's starting to show that this season, him getting open. A-High with the horrible defense. I don't know what he was looking at. He was looking at everything but the receiver. And because of that, Prodigy has a free release for the touchdown.
After getting the first down, Landy throws to Mills in the middle for a decent game. Third down, Landy finds G-Brack in the front of the end zone for the touchdown. If you look here, G-Brack left with nobody guarding him as AK blitzes in. Trey gets the interception on an extra point, but it's 13-12. Browns are creeping back in.
But I'm going to say this. Sometimes there's certain points where you do not need to blitz in. I think this is one of those moments, but because Aka's blitzing in here, He gets blocked, so he doesn't put enough pressure on Landy. Landy's able to find the wide open receiver in G block with no defender on him for the score here. Great throwing by Landy.
Ramsey throws short to Ray in the gap, who runs for a nice gain, picking up the first down. Then Ramsey on forward rush throws his receiver in the gap for a nice gain, getting to the 10. Second and goal, Ramsey gets blitzed by Gooney. Throws to JP on the sideline, who falls into the end zone for the touchdown. Ty gets a 2-point conversion, 21-12, UCF.
And I don't know who to compliment and who to get on right now. First of all, both quarterbacks are stepping up and scoring points in a hurry for this team. Then you see both defenses playing like they don't exist in this game. You see here, the gaps are too wide. The receivers have too much space to move. And then JP is a person that you give him space,
yes,
he can make plays like this all day. And it continues with a play like this, and Ramsey's able to find it.
And let's get that Ramsey finds. They know each other from playing on Riot Squad, but Ramsey got to learn to know who to look for in the red zone. JP is a big target, big hands. He can catch the football. He's not the best route runner in the world, but once he focuses on running certain routes, he can be a big-time playmaker in the middle of the field. But in the red zone is where this kid makes his money. His touchdowns has been down because it seems like teams don't want to cash out. But Ramsey looked like he was ready to cash out and find him here for the end zone. Great play by JP. That's going to Browns are not going to be able to score before the half. That's going to take us into the half, 21-20.
There's a lot of scoring in the first half. We haven't seen this from the Browns, especially in a while. Since their last game, they played the Wolverines, though, so I don't really count that because the Wolverines is an upcoming team, especially on defense.
Right.
But Lonnie is looking confident out there. It's not really enough to take the lead from UTF because they're still behind by about 9 points, but it's good to see Landy starting to creep up into the game, getting his receivers downfield, is able to do what he needs to put up points. Hopefully you see more of that in the second half.
Second down, Ramsey on forward rush, runs in the gap. Lowe's just misses the tag. Ramsey runs for a big gain, picking up the first down. Second and goal, Ramsey scrambles on forward rush, throws a Ray in the front of the end zone. That's going to be dropped. Third and goal, Ramsey throws a Prodigy in the corner end zone, knocked away by G Black. Fourth and goal, Ramsey throws a Prodigy, cutting in the front of the end zone, dropped, turnover on downs, and the team has gotten the ball in the red zone. And they cannot score. This is pathetic on the offensive plays. They got to be able to score in the red zone. They can't.
This is probably the worst offensive drive I've ever seen on UTF, and the worst drive I've seen all game, because they were given position to score, big play leading to them getting in the red zone, and then for 4 straight downs they were not able to score. 2 times they dropped 2 touchdown passes. Free play here. You see JP, yes, this was a low pass, but this was right in his hands, and it slips right through him for him to drop the pass in the back of the end zone.
And that was on a free play.
Yes, free play, you lose opportunity.
Penalty, yep.
Then you have Prodigy here, leading to 4th down. Should it be a routine play for the touchdown? He drops it in front of the end zone.
And then Ray dropped one in front of the end zone too.
This can't happen. I mean, you are in position to score, and for 4 straight downs, you cannot put up points. This, I can't really blame Ramsey here.
Nope.
Because he got them there. They got to hold the ball and score, and they did not do that on this drive.
Browns get the ball, but they're not able to do that on several plays. They're going to have to punt. Second down, Ramsey throws a Frankie deep in the middle, picked off by B-Boy, giving it right back to the Browns. If you look here, no safety valve. Ramsey had no one to throw to, so what he does, he tries to make something happen, and he gets in trouble for it.
And the worst thing about this play is, read the beginning of the play. Read the beginning of the play.
Second down.
Okay.
Ramsey throws a Frankie in the
There you
middle.
go. Ramsey throws deep to Frankie? That's the outlier on this play right here. I understand that they had to make something happen, but why do you have Frankie, a capable tight end, going deep?
And I'm going to tell you, if you look here, who's guarding him? Gooney.
Yes.
Gooney cannot run with Frankie. But the problem with this play is, look at the other receiver. Brings a defender over.
Yes.
And B-Boy makes a great play to break on the ball. So I heard, my inside information that they were going to attack Gooney on the play, which Frankie had a step on him.
Yeah.
But the other receiver, who got to be smarter, brings his defender over, and that's why I got an interception.
All you're doing is knowing that Goonie is liable on the field. You're gonna notice defense is coming to help.
Yep.
That's exactly what B-Boy did. You attracted the defense on a play like that, and because of that, B-Boy was able to make a nice interception.
Lonnie throws deep to Mills in the gap. Caught. Casey misses the tag. Mills takes it in for the touchdown. 21-18. Casey reacts too late, and Mills has been balling this season. He's one of the big weapons on his team. Binky hasn't really been consistent because he hasn't been playing a few games. G-Black been playing decent, but Mills has been the guy who's really made this engine go. He's been playing big football. And he makes a good play.
And the thing about this is we've noticed that he's mainly played on defense. Like we've seen him play mostly as a defender on this Browns team. Now you see him showing his ability to play on both sides of the ball. We haven't been able to see that when they had that merger with the AFC guys. But now Lonnie is feeding the rock. He's getting downfield on multiple plays, and KC has to react in time.
Got to.
He's a veteran from the old Riot Squad team that was one of the best defense in the league at the time.
Yep.
But making a huge mistake here, reacts late, and ends up leading to a score.
Third down, Ramsey throws the tie in the middle for a nice game, picking up the first down. Second down, Ramsey throws the tie in the front of the end zone. With contact from Mills, the pass is dropped. Third down, Ramsey throws short to JP to get them to the 7-yard line. Fourth and goal, Ramsey rolls right, throws to JP in the back of the end zone. Off target, turnover on downs. They give the ball back. Once again, they get in the red zone and they cannot score.
Now I got to put this on the whole team, especially Ramsey. Not to say that he's fully to blame, but you got to set up a strategy that because it didn't work enough in the last game, in the last drive, you couldn't score in front of the end zone. You got to make something happen in this one. It seems like they tried to do more of the same, and because of that, they weren't able to score on this drive either.
20-18, Browns get the ball. Third down, Lonnie throws it on the sideline for a nice gain. Lonnie throws it deep to G-Black in the gap. Incomplete. Turnover on downs. They give it right back to UTF. UTF is going to run the clock out, ending the game 21-18. They get the win over the Browns.
And the Browns had the game in their hands, literally in their hands, and they dropped the ball. UTF was stopped 2 times in a row when they had the opportunity to put away the game, and they did not. And you miss your opportunity. Lonzie has been putting up points throughout this game, but then on the 2 drives you needed to, you were not able to put up points.
Right.
That's unfortunate because Lonnie was playing well in the first, couple of drives. Then you come back to the stagnant Browns offense.
Yeah.
You got to be more consistent than that.
I agree.
They had opportunities to score. They lost opportunities. They can't afford to make mistakes like that moving forward. This was a win that they turned into a loss because their offense ended up dying the last two drives.
UTF won this game, so we'll give them a shout that they won.
They scraped by in this.
They won 21-18.
Yeah, they scraped by with the skin of the.
Remember, I told you at the beginning of the game, they averaged 17 points a game. Ramsey scored 21. They give up 15.6. Their defense gave up 18. Their defense is terrible. Horrible.
What's your favorite word?
Atrocious.
Yeah, you got to say it here.
They need to return this defense to the store and get their money back. It's terrible. Whatever they're trying to do, it is not working. Ramsey is doing his job. Then Ramsey makes a mistake going deep, and that's what happens when he doesn't feel like he has a defense to back him up. He takes chances, which is what he did. But that didn't stop him from not scoring in the red zone. They couldn't score one time on him. The other time, the receivers couldn't catch the ball. But I'm not going to get on this offense because they still put up 21 points. They gave up 18. This defense is terrible. Ock talks about the defense. He's supposed to be a defensive guy. He's a part of this defense, one of the worst in the league.
And the sad part is all of these guys are defensive-minded people. They are.
You sure? You sure?
I figured as much before this game and the multiple games long prior for them this season. Ock, mainly a defensive player, former all-star linebacker. You have Pig, who fluctuates between playing safety and playing linebacker, former all-star linebacker, former defensive player of the year.
Right.
Then you have Trey, for a time, one of the best defenders on whatever team he played on, having a great season this year on defense. Then you have Prodigy, former All-Star, great defender on whatever team he played on. I can go on and on about all the people that they have that are good on defense. But it doesn't come away with them holding any offenses. So what is the point in having these guys when you can't hold anybody?
What's the definition of defense? The action of defending from or resisting attack. Mm-hmm. Defense should never come out of UTF vocabulary. They can't take a defensive driving course. Mm-hmm. They can't go to the national, what is it called? The National Guard.
The National Guard.
The National Guard. Any type of defensive measures that we take, they can't even be a part of building the wall that Trump is trying to get. Anything that has anything to do with defense, if they say it, I will talk to the league about fining them because they know nothing about defense. Yes, you have a former defensive player of the year. Yes, you have a defensive all-star. Yes, your team is known. You have Trey, who was a defensive captain of Generals. You got all these defensive guys and know nothing about defense. Landy lit them up. And no disrespect to Landy, but we've never seen him have the game that he had today versus the defense before. It's pathetic. Landy threw one interception, and that was on the extra point.
Yeah.
So it don't count on his record.
He had a great game.
Landy is Eli Manning of touch football. He throws the ball away at times, but when he gets hot, he could get hot. And today, he got hot. And he made this defense look pathetic. But they made themselves look pathetic because they gave up 15 a game. And that's not even adding these 3 touchdowns that they gave up this game.
Yeah, so it's most likely going to go higher.
Ramsey scored 3 times in the first half. Mm-hmm. And then he didn't score in the second half. He got stopped, he threw a pick, and he got stopped. They got to get that right. He can't let all his bullets out in the first half. But at the end of the day, the problem ain't Ramsey. Leave that man alone. Mm-hmm. The problem is your defense. He's going to throw picks. He's going to make mistakes. He is touch football's Brett Favre.
You like repeating that saying.
But he makes plays.
Yeah.
This defense is pathetic, horrible. They need to figure something out. They need a defensive coordinator. They need some holy water to help this something. They need something. They need to pray. Because if you can't stop a team like YMM, who's the top team in scoring, IOD, another top team in scoring, 99, who has Shannon that's going to run them out of the gym, what are you going to do?
My thing is...
Because Ramsey's not scoring 17 points against 99. Remember, they played 99 at the beginning of the season, but their defense wasn't there. They're in the playoffs. They're not scoring 21 points versus 99.
It seems like with all of the stuff that you're saying, I guarantee you that they're going to love everything that you're saying, and they're going to take your advice from the beginning to the end, and they're going to listen to everything that you say.
They need to know no means no. No scoring means no scoring. They don't really know the memo. Right now, if scoring was a female, I'm going to leave that alone.
Yeah, don't even see it when you see
where
you're going.
I don't want to get too creative.
Like you see,
I don't want to get too creative.
All right, listen.
Don't let that go over your head.
Their defense sucks. There you go.
I like that.
Why do you have to go overboard?
But you're disrespecting suck right now.
Okay, all I said was one phrase, and now you're talking about disrespecting the word.
I'm not going to say on this because we're about to wrap up the show, but
yes.
At the end of the day, they have too much talent to have a defense this bad. That's all I'm saying. Offense is decent. They're number 4 in scoring.
And that's all you have to do,
Okay.
rather than go on your whole rant about defense. I know you're passionate about defense. I know that. You've always had a thing for defense and all of that. You know, defensive coaching and all of that.
Yes.
I know your history. So I see why you're getting on them for having a pathetic defense. But you don't have to go overboard and waste your time because, again, you already made your point a long time ago.
We're going to wrap this show up. UTF with the win over the Browns, 21-18. We're going to wrap the show up. On behalf of Real Tough Talk, I'm Stephen J., my partner Ghost. Next week, we'll give you some of the award front runners. We'll give you how we think the first half of the season going as we winding down to the end of the season, and we'll give you a little more insight. So we're going to wrap up the show this week. We'll be right back on another. We'll see you next week. Another episode of Real Tough Talk. We out of here.